All right. G'day, how you going? Hello YouTube. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a sign of changes. Obviously, it's maybe getting towards the end of the COVID lockdown stuff, so things are getting back to normal-ish, but maybe. So I was doing vlogs. I'm now doing vlogs. So this is why we're on YouTube. So obviously if you're coming to YouTube from my website, my blog page, welcome to YouTube as well. It's great we're sharing this new beginnings process together, and everyone who is a YouTuber who hasn't heard of me, g'day. I hope I'm not too cringy or annoying or shit, but I'm just going to give insights into my life. Instead of writing the blogs that I was doing for pretty much just turned into race reports, I'm now going to do them on YouTube, so you can get the idea of how I think and my lack of ability to connect that to speaking, which is going to be a real thing you will notice. So yeah, a lot of new things have happened since the start of March. I'm living out of home. I finally left the nest after 23 years. I've moved from Banura Point down in New South Wales. I'm now up in Benogan, so I'm the bogan from Benogan, and obviously that's Queensland. That's how much the border closure was annoying me, having to cross that every day, taking an hour to get 20 k's up the road. I decided to just move up across the border. That, and I want to get out of home. So I now share this space that you can't see with a bunch of absolutely sick girls. Not sick as in like sick, but like not COVID sick either, but like they're cool people. So maybe I'll introduce them to you guys if you subscribe. I don't know, how often do I have to put those hints in? But I'm sure you'll see them here and there, everywhere. Oh, I can't do that, so I rolled my ankle. That's where I'll get to soon. So I gotta sit like this. But I moved out of home. I'm now actually self-coaching with my original coach Andrew, who's mentoring me as well. So any questions I have about anything, I just be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Do you think this is a good idea? Why? Why not? Because obviously I am the personal trainer as well. So I've got the idea over a few years now of training other people, as well as being trained by Andrew, of how to run proper training sessions, proper progression plans, how to suit that around me. And with all the COVID stuff going on, we've had to train solo. So we haven't been able to train as a group for about 12 weeks now. At first I liked this because there was no commitment. I could sleep in, I could train whenever, wherever, however I liked. Because it pretty much forced us into off-season about 3 months earlier than expected, which is a shame because the last 3 months of the triathlon season are pretty like on. A lot of races, which means a lot of income for me, a lot of exposure, a lot of opportunities, all gone. But there's no point trying to pull that back up because it's well gone. We've just covered that hole and start building the frame on top. So pretty much how I stayed somewhat sane in this insane world, I stayed in my sanity, was doing what I liked. I took a week off because it was quite hard to deal with mentally, knowing that I didn't have any training, any races to train for. I didn't know what was going on. Everything was all up in the air, and they're like, nah, nothing's happening. We've cooked it and shit's hit the fan. So for about a week, actually it was Wednesday that was announced. It was just after Mooloolaba Triathlon. That Wednesday training, I was like, why am I doing this? I don't have anything to train for. There's no point keeping my high intensity speed work up. So halfway through my ride, I just let Lee know, and I was like, oh, see ya. Turned around, rode back to the car and went home. So I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, just a bit of yoga, meditation, just enjoying doing nothing for about 3 days, and then I got sick of it because I'm pretty active. If you're following me on the IG, Travis Coleman PT, if you want a little plug there, you'll see how active I am. I usually share there. If not, Strava, I upload everything I do there at Travis Coleman. I don't know the actual link, but you'll find me. I think I'm holding the banner up, or I run in the Aussie kit. One of those photos, I forget which one it's at now. I change shit all the time. But I had those couple of days off. The next week, I was like, I'll just go surfing and swimming. Just enjoy doing things. So then for a week, I did that, and then I started doing like little rides and runs. So like a half-hour ride and about an hour run, just cruising around the old house, my parents' place, in Benora, which is pretty close to Kingscliff. So if you've been to Kingy, you'll know why it's so great down there. But I did that for about 2 weeks. I just gradually built everything up through like a nice base program where I would just wake up when I wake up. I'd go down, I'd swim in the creek, and what I did was I alternated bike run days. So Monday was just swim, Tuesday was bike and swim, Wednesday run and swim, Thursday bike and swim, Friday run and swim, Saturday just ride, Sunday just run. And whenever the surf was good, surf took priority for 2 weeks. So I built that up for those 2 weeks. I got up to about an hour of running, and about 3 hours of riding was my longest session during that base block. And then I started an 8-week introduction to speed work again. So this started with, I added gym sessions in as well on the Monday and the Thursday. So Monday was the open water swim, so I'd swim like Kingy Creek. Started with 2 times, just like a base swim, and a strength session. Yoga every day again, obviously. And then Tuesday, I'd go the hills. So I'd find some hills, ride them on the road bike. I do like the hills because it means downhill, and that feeling you get of being strong and powerful up a hill is pretty nice. And then I'd go a really easy run off the bike. It started at 5 minutes, just a 5-minute easy jog after doing some hills. And I'd work my swim either before or after this. So if it was, if a tide worked, I'd swim at Kingscliff on a high tide. If it was a low tide, I'd drive up to Currumbin, cross the border, swim there, and pretty much P3 was still shut at this stage, so I'd just come back home. So it was a bit of a hassle when tides weren't right, having to cross the border. Wednesday, I started the speed sessions, or like an introduction to speed, as I'd park my car at the toilets near the Kingy track. I'd run from there to the track because obviously as a vegan frother, because I'm just frothing life and I'm vegan, so I protect, save and stand up for all the animals, and I don't hurt any, and I'm against you hurting them. So if you're hurting them, think twice. If you want to not stop hurting them, hit me up and I'll give you some hints and tips and stuff, but there's no need to anyway. So I got onto that because I shit a lot, and apparently that's a vegan thing, so I just eat a lot, so I get rid of it. Go around to the track, do about a 2K warm up, and then my track set started as 4 reps of 800 meter builds. So this started at 4-minute pace, 350 pace, 340 pace, and finishing at 330 pace. So stepping up every 200 meters. So it was 48 seconds, 46 seconds, 44 seconds, and 42 seconds. So I built this up over 12 weeks, I think. So I built it to 10. But how I did this was, and same with the rest of my training that I'm going to explain, is a 4-week progression plan. So A, B, C, D. So week A is the start, so 4, and then B is 5, C is 6, and then D is handy because that's for deload. So that's my deload week. So instead of dropping it back heaps like some people recommend you do, I'm trialing dropping it back to the B week. So like A, so 4, 5, 6, 5 reps. So it's just taking it back to what it was the week before, and that way that week before that high week is now your base point. So then you start the next 4-week block at the peak of the previous 4. So you're already like that, where you peaked is now where you're starting. So it's a great thing mentally and physically because you're like, oh, I'm PBing like every 2 weeks. How good's this? So then it was 6, 7, 8, 7. And then it was 8, 9, 10, 9. And then once we get up to that, through that bit, I explain the rest of what I do through the week. I'll explain them because that started 2 weeks ago, the next block. So we'll work our way up there. This is all non-linear because that's not how I think. I'm here, there, and everywhere, and that's pretty much how I live my life. It works for me. So back to Thursdays. Wednesdays. We're still on Wednesday. So after that track session, I would go do an hour ride. I started at just ride for an hour, which is handy. It's from the track down to Pottsville, turn around, come back, just along the beach. Not on the beach, but like Tweed Coast Road, and you get to see all the points as you drive past them, and it was a good surf check. That way I knew if I wanted to go surfing or swimming after the ride. So the rides that I did started as just the hour, and then the next week it was 1 4-minute, 2 4-minute, and then back to 1 4-minute, and then it was 2, 3, 4, back to 3. And then instead of going more than 4 reps at 4 minutes, I then upped it to a 5-minute, so like 1 5, 3 4s, 2 5s, 2 4s. I'm now up to all 5 minutes. No, I'm not. The first one this Wednesday was a 4 and 3 5s. So that's where I'm up to now. That's the progression plan. Again, a 3-week of building, 1 week deload, 3-week build, 1 week deload. I did that however many times, 3 times was till we're at today. So then I'd swim in the creek after, or go to Currumbin and swim up there. And then Thursday's a pretty big day, especially during a block of a season. So then we're only at Thursday. There's a lot more weeks to come. So sit down, grab a hot chockey, grab some Gardner vegan meals if you've got any spare laying around, and start digging in. Or just a jar of Byron Bay peanut butter and just stick some dates in. It's good stuff. Or fill them. Anyway, I get distracted by food. Back to training. This is what this is about, how I've got to where I am now since the last time I did a blog, vlog, anything. Let the internet really know what I'm doing outside of Instagram. So Thursdays is a bike interval day. Because we couldn't ride as a group, we couldn't do the usual bike sessions. So I decided to make my own, like a backwards pyramid. The word escapes me how this works, but the idea was I start at 5 kilometers, 1 kilometer off. Oh, well, I actually started at I started with nothing. I just rode. The first week was just ride the loop. It's a 66k loop. Amazing. It was from my parents' place over Terranora, at the back of Mooloolaba, back up to the back of Kingscliff, pop out near kind of Cabba, ride back up. Beautiful spot, beautiful loop. It's country and coastal at the same time. So I just did that, and then it went. So each time I say something, it's the new week. So it was 5k on, 1k, 5k on, and then. So I'll explain this as I'm going. 1k rest between each effort. So 5 kilometer effort, 1k rest. 4 kilometer effort, 1k rest. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3 was yesterday. So we're up to that because we've recently been allowed to train as groups. So whenever I don't train as a group, I add the next step up in the pyramid, and that way it's almost like a rebuilding type situation going on. So obviously that has taken 12, 14 weeks. However long it's taken, that's how long it's taken, because time isn't relevant, and it's just a concept made up to drive consumerism to help build the output of stress and fear into people, so they are more responsive to hate and less responsive to love. Because if we're not responsive to love, we love each other and we're all one community, and there's no more stress, fear, hate in the situation, and those that are driving those factors are not in control. We are. There's a little rant for you this is my mind. Welcome to my mind, and my YouTube channel. So then that was the bike ride. Then I did 1 kilometer off the bike, just nice and easy, first time. And every time since then, I've done 1 kilometer solid. So not like just send it as hard as possible, still sending it, but just kind of a strong pace, kind of faster than you would usually off a bike, but maybe if you've just been dropped from the pack, or the pack's just up the road, and you just want to have that quick 1k straight off the bike, catch up to the group up the road. That's the kind of feel for this 1k. So it's above tempo. It's not max. It's not a 1 kilometer sprint. So I started at about 3:10 pace. I'm now, depending on where I do it, when I was doing it at my parents' place, I got it down to 2:59 was my quickest one. And again, this isn't sending it, it's just send it a little bit, like not express delivery type send, but just send it in the post. Just mailman, send it, solid, but we're not express posting this stuff. There's no need, because that comes later in the day. So we do the 1K solid, and then I did a gym set as more of a stability set. So I'd go on the hip stability, so activate the hips and the glutes, and then I'd go knee stability, activate the quads and hemis, and then the ankle stability, calves, shins, ankle strength, foot strength. Working the big toe, because that bad boy is what will save you when you roll your ankle, help support you. And all these exercises, I've actually already posted on my Instagram, so just have a little, you won't have to scroll far, just a little scroll, and you'll be able to see all these strength activities that I do on the Monday and the Thursday. Because I like to share with you all what I do to help you, except if you're a competitor, don't bother checking, because I don't want you to beat me. So that's how good this stuff is. It's how I get where I am. It's how I'm better than you if I am, and it's how I'm going to be better than you if I'm not yet. No secrets here. So then I would do that, and then jump into my yoga session. So my yoga, I use the app Down Dog. It goes for a 30-minute yoga exercise, and I do my own little calming shavasana for a couple minutes after it, and then I go into Wim Hof type meditation. So if you're regular with Wim Hof, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's about 30 breaths, I think. 20-30 breaths, I don't know. The app does it all for me, so I don't even have to think. Same with Down Dog. So the Wim Hof app, you just hit guided meditation, start, and then you go like for about 20 or 30 of those. I forget, it's about 2 minutes-ish. And then you hold your breath, you go and hold. And you hold your breath, and you're able to hold your breath so much because you've super ventilated. Like hyperventilation, but you're in control of it most of the time. I'm already getting hot just from those couple of breaths. So he's created it to also deal with the cold. He's Icelandic, or he's from a place where it has snow and ice, so that's pretty cold. I mean, I'm in Queensland in summer in a long sleeve shirt, beanie, boardies and no shoes, so I don't really know what the cold is right now. But he's there, and you do that. I get to about a 6-minute breath hold. It's where I kind of peak. I started about 3, and I just go like 30 seconds, 40 seconds more. Not consciously or anything, I just hold my breath until I physically cannot hold my breath. Sometimes I start to like shake, and then my body goes and calms. Sometimes I shake, and I have to breathe. It does weird things, muscles cramp, all sorts of stuff happens. It's honestly an orgasm in the pineal gland. In my mind, the pineal gland comes up from the back of the spine and connects to the back of the head. But I feel like people refer to the pineal gland as the third eye, right? Where this little logo is. That's, whatever that is, that's where I feel like the orgasm happens. It's like it comes up through the whole body, and you're just like, the whole body shudders. It's great. There's no masturbation, there's no boners, there's no mess. You just straight orgasm from breathing. Search Wim Hof, find it out. You'll know all the good stuff about it. It's amazing. So I do that, and then I go for my swim. The tides are usually not great by the time I do this. It's hard to work it with the tide, so it's been Currumbin again. At the end of the week, once I've explained my week, I'll explain my swim sessions as well, because it's too much mess for you guys to try and do that. And then after my swim, I do hill reps. So I started with just one, as 1 minute. I'm now up to 7. I meant to do yesterday, but I rolled my ankle, so we'll explain that too. So I'm up to 7 now, so like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. I'm now at 7, so I peaked this week. Right now, today, I won't upload this today, but once I upload this, the week before I uploaded it was peak. The week I upload this is the deload week. So that's where I'm at. Then we get to Friday. Friday, I started it as an easy, about 11K loop I did. And then just nice and steady jog, just get used to running again, because again, this was after 2 weeks off, restarted everything. So it's about 11Ks, and then the next week, it was 9Ks steady, 1K tempo, recover for the last kilometer. I built this up so by going 8 steady, 2 tempo, 7 steady, 3 tempo, 6 steady, 4 tempo. Maths is hard for me to speak, but I went 1 less steady, 1 more tempo up until today. I rolled my ankle, so I didn't get to do today's session. I'll go for an easy jog later. But it was meant to be a 9K tempo day today with 1K steady either side of that. But that didn't happen because stuff happens. There's no control on what the universe has planned for you. You just ride that wave. So then we're up to Saturday now. Saturday was my long ride. It started at about 2 hours. It's now at 4 hours. I've kind of just not working on time. I'm just mapping loops because I love to explore new routes, new roads, and try things out. So I'll go on, I use Strava and map my ride. So I compare the pair, and both have things that the other doesn't have. So map my ride, I can actually create the route. Strava, I can use the people's segments they've done before to find out cool little add-ons and bits of loops and check all this stuff. So I've mapped that out. It's pretty much actually goes on distance. So I think I'm at like 120. It's like a steady ride. So I'm averaging between 30 to 33K an hour, depending on how hilly the session is compared to how flat it is. So when it's more flat, the speed comes up. And there's this group that call themselves the Haters, right? HARS. So I won't call them stupid. I find it kind of funny because they're like, oh, apparently they call themselves the Haters because they hate getting up early. And I'm like, you're looking at this backwards, bro. They hate sleeping in. So they love getting up early. So I've decided I need to get a jersey when I go find these guys and give them an LV. I forget how I did this, but it was like LVRS, like lovers. LV4S, maybe. I think that was it. Doesn't matter, it's irrelevant, but I've found these guys on a group ride every now and then on my Saturday, and they end up doing the same loop as me. The first time I saw them, I met them at the top of Terranora and got to ride all through the flats with them. And then the second time I met them at the start of Tommywood, which is a decent hill, and I pretty much got towed up the hill. And then I got a flat, so I didn't get to ride with the rest of them, but yeah, they're out there. So that's my Saturday ride. It's a base ride, just steady, no effort, no pressure, no time, just ride, enjoy the ride, come home, cook up some pancakes, have an iced mocha. It's great vibe. And I'll hit a swim again at Currumbin. So now that I'm up to the end of my swimming, I have Sunday swims off. Sunday is just a run day, actually trail running. So I'm now up to this Sunday, which will be, I'm posting this on Monday, hopefully, if things go well. Should have done 29Ks on Sunday, which will be yesterday, but it's a couple days ahead from now. So I'm up to 29Ks. What I do is, I started at like 13, because lucky 13, right? I've just gone 2 kilometers each time, 2 kilometers back, like 4-week session, 3-week progression, build, 1 week deload. So like 13, 15, 17, 15. I'm now at 29, work out the math, deal with it, that's where we're at. We're about whatever week we're at now. It's too hard, time doesn't matter, it's all made up. We're at that stage now. So now that I've explained what I do in a week, what I am doing now, so I have my swim sessions here. So actually this is going to change because, alright, so before I moved up to where I am now in Penogan, it was Monday, I would swim Kingy Creek as long as the tides were high tide after 7 a.m. and before 4 p.m. because I don't like swimming with the sharks. So they're most active during dawn and dusk and night, obviously. So I want to swim in the day where I can see, and the creek is beautiful. It's the most beautiful creek you can swim in Australia. New Zealand has the nicest water to swim in that I've swam in. Mexico's nice, but it's hot. But New Zealand, Lake Tarawera, oh my God, the Blue Lake, oh, it's honestly my favorite place. the Blue Lake's different to... Anyway, New Zealand's beautiful. So Kingi Creek, I would do 6 laps. Yeah, so down, up, down, up, down, up. And what I did the first time, I didn't have any fuel or nutrition or drink or anything. So I swam for like 6Ks and had nothing. So I decided to put a bag of stuff at the bridge. So I swim from the river mouth to the bridge. That's about 1K. It's pretty close. It's just under, so I do a little extra if I need to get 6K. And I have, every time I get to the bridge, I go a drink, and then I come back and I'll go either a Cliff Gel or a Cliff Chew. Just one cube from the pack, and then I go up, and then I come back. And depending how I'm feeling, if I've had a gel, I'll just have the gel. The second time I come back, if I have chews, I'll have another chew, and then I just swim back. And then Tuesday, I was doing the Currumbin loop, where it's a 500-meter loop. So I start, swim about 100 meters, and then I run across the sand. I swim north, so it's a big C shape, right? So we're drawing this on screen. This is all, I swim across the sand. The sand goes like that. I go around the outside, and then it's sand here. So I run out, run across the sand, swim hard across here because it's really deep, and there's sharks there. Maybe, I've never seen one, but it's scary, and I can only swim fast there, so it's a good spot to do my effort. So 400 meters, easy, 100 meter run across the sand, swim hard, run up the beach. That way I'm getting good run out of the water, run into the water, kind of practice for triathlon, which is great. So I'm started these for the Tuesdays as 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, like a pyramid set. So like 1 hard, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1 type of scenario. Wednesday I'd swim in the creek again. I'd probably just do 4K, so up, back. And then Thursday I would do a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 set, so of Currumbin. So the 1, and then 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1 type of situation. Friday I would do the big Kingi swim again, which is the 6K set with the fuel at the end. And then Saturday I would just do 5 laps going hard each time, just after my ride. So a steady ride, taxing on the legs with lots of hills, keeping it strong, and then just keep going, keep doing efforts. And then that's my week. But now things have changed because I've now moved to Benogan. So I haven't started the week yet, but by the time I upload this, it'll be the start of the week. So what I'm planning Monday is a big pyramid set swim. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as efforts. So it's a lot to say and it's a lot to do. It's about a 6.5K session, which is solid with the efforts going, like increasing. And then Tuesday, oh no, we're still at Monday. Monday I do my gym set. So I do the same progression plan as 3 8s, 10s, 12s, 10s, and then I go 4 8s, 10s, 12s, 10s, and then I up the weight by just about 5 to 10%, depending on what weight I've got and how much I can just take that in one more step with whatever I'm doing, and I feel comfortable to still keep the full range of motion going while upping the weight. So that's where I'm at. So this time I think I just upped the weight, so now it'll be back at 4, 8, 10, 12, that. Tuesday, I will ride from my place. It's from my new house. It is 60 k's to the very top of Springbrook and back. So that's going to be my deload week ride. I know, right? Deload, let's ride all the way to the very tippy top of Springbrook. 60 k's, good fun. It's a shit ton of elevation. And the street I'm living on goes like this before I even get to Springbrook. But what I'm going to do is 4 times mini Springbrook. If you know Springbrook, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's a hill, it's pretty solid. It's maybe like a 6 to 8 minute effort climb. So I'm going to do these as first rep at 60 cadence, 65, 70, 75. I'm going to build these to 6, and on deload week, I'm going to ride up the top of Springbrook and back. So I'm just going to keep that as that. So it'll be 4 reps, 5 reps, 6 reps. Springbrook top. But as I do it, it's 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. However I did that, I started at 60, I built to 85 cadence. Keeping the same gear though. That's the plan anyway. If not, the cadence is the focus, not the gear. The gear is a gauge, a type of way I can use to test that I'm actually doing the right thing and getting where I need to be to gauge my performance levels. So gearing isn't relevant, it's just big gear, the big chain ring, 60 cadence grinding, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, and then the last time just ride Springbrook in the big ring, whatever cadence. I'll probably do maybe some little efforts in here and there. And then it will be a 35-minute run this week. Week gone was 30-minute run. And it's just steady. There's plenty of hills around my area now, so it's going to be a nice hilly run. It's going to be great, perfect. And then I'll go swim the creek as a small pyramid, so 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, of that same thing I outlined before. And then Wednesday, I do a track session. So now I'm up to, I've increased the pace by 10 seconds, and I started at 6 instead of 4. So I'll keep, every time I get to 10, I'll come back to 6 and upload the pace by 10 seconds per kilometer. So I am now at 350, 340, 330, 320, and Wednesday gone was 8 reps. So then I'll be back to 7, then it'll be 8, 9, 10, and then I'll drop it back and start at 340, 330, 320, 310. And by the time the season starts, I should be doing these finishing at 3-minute pace, which again is solid for me. It's sending it, but it's not like max out. Max out is like 230, and I'm only holding that for 100 meters. Like, I'm a 12, 13 second 100 meter runner. I'm not amazing, but I kind of rate myself all right compared as a triathlete to run 100 meters in 12 seconds. I think that's pretty good. It's where I'm at. Guys, it doesn't matter. I'm a triathlete, not a 100 meter sprinter, so it doesn't matter. And then I'll go do my ride. So I've mapped it out from the local athletics track, which is near Somerset Drive. I can ride over like these little cresty bits and get straight out into Telebudger Valley. I do my efforts out there, and this week coming will be the 2 5s, 2 4s, I think. Something like that. So it's only short efforts. I like to keep it around an hour. If it's a bit more, that's okay. The emphasis is on the efforts, not the rest of the ride. The rest of the ride is just the base ride to just enjoy the time. And then I'll go swim. So this will be Wednesday's swim. I'll step it back up a little bit. I'll go to the medium pyramid, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1 efforts. And then Thursday is depending on what's happened and how much sleep I have, because to ride with the group I have to wake up at 3:15 a.m. and I don't get home until I don't finish training until about 2. I hit P3 and then I'm home at like 4:30, but I usually sleep at P3. So it's a 12-hour day of non-stop, because like it's like 6 hours training day. It's a big day, and I got to get up at 3. So as long as I get to sleep by 9, I do this. If not, I do the other ride I explained earlier, where it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If not, I'll do it with the group, and Andrew runs this, so it's great to catch up, explain what I'm doing in the week, where I'm at, where my head's at, where my body's at, what I'm looking in the future for, all these types of things. And then we do just like a couple interval efforts around Palm Beach. 1K solid off the bike, come back. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to start at Palm Beach and then I'll just swim at Palm Beach. I'll come back here and I'll do my little gym, yoga, Wim Hof, and then go for my hill rep runs, because there's some solid hills that will take like 3 minutes to get up. So I'm only doing a 1-minute solid effort at the moment. I'm probably going to keep that capping at 10. So it'll be 8, 9, 10, 9 as the week. And then same deal for Friday's session. So we're up to Friday now. And that will be a tempo run as 8, 9, 10, 9. So I don't need to go past 10, I don't think, because that's my race pace. Standard distance, Olympic distance type racer. I do the odd long course as well, just for a great training session, hit out, strength session while holding some speed endurance. It's great for me, I love it. Opportunities everywhere, and I enjoy it, but sprinting is my forte. I really like the short, faster stuff than the long stuff. So then, yeah, the 8, 9, 10, 8, 9. And then I'll go swim again. I missed my swim. So the swim Thursday was 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So my swim Friday will be 10 laps. So it'll start as a warm-up lap, and then 1 with paddles, and then one hard effort. One with paddles, one hard effort. One with paddles, one hard effort. 10 times. So that's going to be a 5K swim set. I'll get up to Saturday, and that's just going to increase. I just keep adding a little bit more onto the rides, going a little bit further south, a little bit further west, starting a little north, just stuff like this, just to get a little bit more, because I love the loop I'm doing, and just add bits onto it to just keep getting longer and longer and longer. And honestly, this is going to keep going until about 180 Ks. And then I'll do deload weeks leading up to races, and I'll post a video about how I do tapering as well, because everyone loves to talk about tapering and carb loading, and I love to do both. Talking about it though, I really suck at talking, as you can tell, because this is a long video. Thanks for tuning in if you're still in. If not, that's okay, I don't blame you. First one, getting everything I do out there, how I've got from where I was to where I am during COVID. So then that's Saturday, and then I'll do the 5 laps as one effort, one effort, one effort, one effort, one effort. And Sunday, I'm looking at capping that around 30 Ks. I don't think I need to get any more. Season's gonna start at the end of September, hopefully. As long as no more shit gets flung to the ceiling, we're fine. So I'll actually drop that back as we get closer to the ceiling, to the season, where I will then go maybe like a 2-hour run, so better half marathon, but finish as 5 1-minute efforts, 6, 7, and then bring it back to 6. Or even if I'll do it 4 weeks out, and then just maybe keep it at 2 hours, cap it at maybe 20 Ks I'll aim for, and I'll go a little bit less leading up to the race. And that's my week. So I'll finish off with how I did my ankle. That's the wrong foot. This is my sore foot. Nice and clean, as you just saw. Thursday, I moved in Wednesday. I got to sleep at about 12. I woke up at 3:15 to go training, and I fell straight back to sleep. I snoozed my alarm, fell asleep, and I turned my alarm off when it went again. Woke up at 8. The universe and my body were trying to tell me not to train, but I was like, no, I gotta train. I gotta keep my stats on Strava up. They're like, my Strava stats at the moment are looking so good. They're like 3 weeks steady, 1 down, 3 weeks steady, 1 down. It's like this little staircase it's going. It looks so aesthetically pleasing, and I ruined it. But it was a good learning lesson, because I don't base stuff off Strava. I base stuff off performance, my mental and physical ability to do what I want to do, not the numbers I see on Strava. That doesn't matter. Numbers aren't even a thing. They're just measurements to create stress. Like I said before with time, it's all what you give it. And I can't talk. I suffer. It's been like 30 something minutes of talking. It's a long time. But yeah, so that's that. I rolled my ankle because I did my bike set, my run set, I did my swim. On the last lap, going for the last effort, I stood in a stingray hole. If you know what I'm talking about, it's where the stingrays sit on high tide or whatever, and then the tide comes out, and the divots from where the stingrays bath sit in the sand leave like holes that are like that big, maybe a bit bigger, and I stood in one on the wrong way. I rolled my ankle, I felt the snap, I felt the pop, I heard the crack, and I fell straight down on my face. Usually when I roll my ankle trail running outside, it's like ooh, that was tender, don't do that again, and just like hop, and then I'm keep running for like 2 hours. But this time I fell straight down and I couldn't move my ankle, so I'm really taking it easy there. And now we're on YouTube, so I'm gonna upload a bit of shit and gigs here and there, a lot of training videos and a lot of eating videos and some strength training videos. So it'll hit my PT work, so as long as clients are comfortable, I'll show you what some of my clients do, and some cool sessions to do at home yourself that I might run through to show you. I'll show you what I eat, how I cook it, all this good stuff, because I love to promote the plant-based diet and vegan lifestyle. There's a difference. I'll go into that maybe another time. And obviously all my training that I do, because you all love to be like, what do you do for training? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? This is what I do. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment, all that rubbish stuff. Make me money off YouTube. I don't know. Sayonara, thanks for listening.